Okay, so where I left off, we were saying that it takes 2. Oops, that's not supposed to be a 2, is it? We've got the 2 for the height here times 1/2 times 1/2. So when we multiply this together, 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. So we have 2 times 1/4. 2 times 1/4 is going to give us 2/4, which equals 1/2 inch cubed. Now, looking at this stack, we see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We took 4 cubes and made this prism. When we had 8 cubes, we had a volume of 1/8 inches cubed. Now we multiply, we have the 4, or sorry, when we have a single cube, we have 1/8 as our volume. When we put 4 of them together, multiply it by 4, then we can get our 1/2. 4/8 becomes 1/2 inches cubed. So keep that in mind. So once again, it's all about knowing how to multiply with these fractions and understanding their relationships. Okay, so use cubes with an edge of 1/2 to build prisms with the lengths, widths, heights shown in the table. For each prism, record in the table how many 1/2-inch cubes can be packed into the prism and the volume of the prism. So we have a prism with a length of 1/2, width of 1/2, and height of 1/2. Number of 1/2-inch cubes in the prism. That's going to be 1. Volume of the prism. Well, 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/8. So remember, we're multiplying these together. All right, so for the next one, we have a prism with a length of 1. So there's 1. With a width of 1. So there we have our 1 again, because remember, 2 halves, 2 1/2s make 1 whole. And then with a height of 1. With a height of 1/2. So we have this right here. So it takes 4. And if we multiply this, well, notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 1/8. 4 1/8 is the same thing as 1/2. Also, if we take 1 times 1, it's 1 times 1/2 is 1/2. All right, the next one, we have a length of 2. So now it's going to take 4 of these to go all the way across. So we've got 4 for our length, because it's the length of 2. Then we have a width of 1. So that's going to be 2 of our blocks. And then we have a height of 1/2. So how many did this take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It took 8. And then if we multiply, so 8 of these, so 8 times 1/8 is just 1 whole. Also looking at it here, 2 times 1 is 2, times 1/2 is 1. All right, now this next one, it's going to be 2 by 2. So we've got our 2 inches. Now we need to add 2 more to get our width of 2. So we've got 2 by 2, and then it's going to be 1, high. So we've got this going on right here. Now, I don't have enough cubes to fill out this whole entire thing. Let me see if I can get a few more on here. Okay. Ooh, flying cubes. We're close. So I can get the entire base almost. So here we go. Okay, so if we look at the base, it's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we'd have a second layer on top of that. So 16 plus 16 is 32. Now, if to find the area, we'd take 32 and multiply it by 1/8. So 32 times 1/8, since each one of these cubes is 1/8. And that's going to give us 4. Also, if we multiply, 2 times 2 is 4, times 1 is 4. All right, the next one. Now, I have run out of cubes to be able to show this, so we're going to have to think critically about these. So 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 3/2 is what? Well, 8 times 3 is 24, and 24 divided by 2 is 12, so our volume is 12. Now, to find out how many half-inch cubes are in this volume, remember, our volume of 1 cube is 1/8, so take 12 and divide it by 1/8, so 12 times 8 is 96. For the next one, 5 times 4 is 20, times 2 is 40. 5 times 4 is 20, times 2.5 is 50. Now, to find the number of half inches, we're going to multiply each of these by 8. So 40 times 8 is going to be 320, and 50 times 8 is going to be 400. That would take a lot of cubes to put together. All right, so what do you notice about the relationship between the edge lengths of each prism and its volume? You should notice that volume equals length times width times height. We know this, so that's why this was a little bit easier. We already knew how to find volume. We're multiplying the 3 dimensions, so length, width, and height, together to get our solution. The same holds true when we're dealing with fractions. So what is the volume of a rectangular prism that is 1.5 inches by 2.25 inches by 4 inches? Well, we're going to multiply these. So to make it a little easier, I'll convert them into improper fractions. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So we've got 3/2 times 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 9/4 times 4/1. Now, 3 times 9 is 27, and 27 times 4 is 108. Don't mind the random lines. And then 2 times 4 is 8, times 1 is 8. So we have 108 over 8. So that gives us 13 1/2. So our volume is 13.5 inches cubed. Inches cubed. So there's our solution. So these all have been dealing with fractional lengths. So going back to working with our fractions and knowing that we can still find volume when we have fraction. We can still find area when we have fractions. You just have to be careful with them, okay? All right, your keyword for these 2 lessons are fraction. Fraction is your keyword for these 2 lessons. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a great day, guys.